The meaning of Vyasa Puja. The celebration of the spiritual master's appearance day is called Vyasa Puja. It is very rare that a conditioned soul gets in contact with a spiritual master. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the Kripa of devotional service. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. This is the definition of the Guru. Everyone is in the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, everyone needs to be enlightened from the transcendental knowledge. One who enlightens his disciple and saves him from rotting in the darkness of ignorance in this material world is a true Guru. Although the disciple should always worship and remember his spiritual master, follow his instructions and beware that his life fully depends on the spiritual master mercy, by which only he will be able to attain the highest goal. Pure love of Godhead, the Vyasa Puja day, offers especially an opportunity for this meditation. So let us please take the opportunity on our dear spiritual master, His Holiness Satchidananda Swami's appearance day, to express our deep love and gratitude for his incredible mercy upon us by guiding us home back to Godhead. His Holiness Satchidananda Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai.
When you do sadhana, go for one-pointedness, go for single-minded attention. That's the only rule, because then your spiritual practice is effective. Then it can create a new mind. When you are absorbed in one-pointedness, then the original version of yourself, which is already there, waiting to be discovered, can be manifest. You have to learn in your devotional practice to pay attention, because only from attention comes attraction to what you do, and from attraction comes finally attachment, that you remain attached to the spiritual life. If you are not paying attention, but you are distracted, then you will develop a disinterest in what you do, and finally this disinterest will bring you to disengagement. Your body may still be there, but your mind is over the 7 hills. I will make a spiritual impression into my consciousness, and you will see, first my thoughts will go in that direction, then my actions follow, and finally my whole life comes into the flow, a spiritual flow, which goes to a spiritual direction and not into the material direction. When you chant, and your eyes, they are part of the body, move somewhere, then our attention is distracted. There's in fact something from Bharatanatyam. It says, where the hand moves, the eyes follow, and where the eyes follow, a mood or a feeling is generated. No? When I do like... So when we are chanting, that's the idea, and our eyes are roaming around, naturally our thoughts will go to where our eyes roam, and a certain feeling is created.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Satchidananda Swaminiti Namine. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna saram. Your goodwill, mercy and grace towards this fallen soul are the only medicines that are keeping me spiritually alive and confident. And as I'm getting older quickly, I finally have to admit that I, by myself, possess no qualification for spiritual life at all. Ekaki amara nahi pai bala harinama sankirtane. If, despite this fact, I am still allowed to come together with devotees and in their association chant the holy names, it can only be possible because you are desiring this good fortune for me, and that again and again you pray for it to happen and for it to not be constantly interrupted anymore. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati aje. Krishna is yours, and it is in your power to give him to others. Although sometimes I'm too distracted to even desire to be together with Krishna in the form of his holy name, you always desire my well-being and my spiritual growth, and you inspire me to never give up the hope of attaining the only goal worth hoping for, to attain just a drop of your immense attachment to chanting Krishna's holy names. I am far, far away from, without hypocrisy, being able to say, I love Krishna. But by your mercy, I have been given some faith in Srila Prabhupada's words, and, compared to your love for Srila Prabhupada, if I will be able to develop just a drop of such genuine love for you, this drop of nectar will surely be enough to revive my dormant love for Krishna. Therefore, I am unlimitedly grateful to you for having accepted me as your insignificant disciple. Your humble servant, Shyamananda Das.
Sneha Mayi Seva. All this love which is done with, this service which is done with love. This is all that Krishna cares for. He doesn't care for the many things which we do. He has every offering that we can offer already. He is the richest, the most fulfilled, and so on. He doesn't need anything from us. He only needs our Snehamayi service. Mind must be also engaged. It should not just be a vocal activity. You should be present-minded, not absent-minded as you chant. It is good if we can arrive at this spiritual place, being repentant for our foolish ways, being repentant of our envy, of our pride, of our materialistic attachments. It doesn't mean that you become super first class. No, you may still be attached, you may still be, but your heart is not in it anymore. Krishna will never ignore any one of us totally, but we should please him, and at that time he will maintain us specially, and then we don't need to be in anxiety about anything, about nothing. We can be It seems to be a valid and relevant point. the special bird orchestra is enthusiastically agreeing to this point.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, and dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words. Many years ago, I made this decision for myself to somehow or other always remain near devotees and participate in Krishna conscious programs. And to my good fortune, this decision led me to be near you, dear Guru Maharaj. One good thing of being near you is that one can always pick up this little tidbits of nectar inspirations. Once you gave me this personal gift, which says, learn to live alone without feeling lonely, which I treasure with me, and that I should consciously every day decide to be happy. I understood that it is my own responsibility to lead a happy life in order to live a Krishna conscious life. I must accept this responsibility to be satisfied in life of service to Krishna and his devotees and to all the jivas. This applies also to taking the responsibility of performing regular sadhana, watering the plant of bhakti, which you have sown in my heart, and protecting it against all weeds of Maya. My experience is that if we make conscious decisions to serve Krishna and his devotees, to somehow or other always think of Krishna and never forget him, then we will also mystically receive the mercy and the divine strength to do it. So thank you for always being so caring and accepting my humble services. I'm very much honored to be connected to you. And all glories to you and the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Ram. Hare
So many
Krishna.
things which Burijan Prabhu explained to us, but he said, he talked about the ultimate psychotherapy. He said when someone who comes to him, he said, please for a moment stop and just think that Krishna loves you. How do you feel? My dear devotees, let us stop for a moment and think that Krishna smiles at us. Let us close our eyes for a moment. Think of the smile of Krishna. His lips are parting, and there are his white teeth, like jasmine flowers. And he smiles happily on us. In his smile is a lot of love. To life, this is our tradition, that we know the Lord is everywhere. Nothing is separate from him. The environment is friendly, therefore, because Krishna is your friend. He's there. He's in the heart to be a well-wisher. If you forget everything from the lecture, which might happen to some of you, Krishna is your friend. Take this with you, and that is good. So this is what it said here, that if you are like this, engaged with Krishna, then you don't have to fear any longer, because as the all-pervading friend who is everywhere, he removes sarva dogani, all the obstacles in your life, if you just become a little conscious of him and do devotional service. No?
Although we have wronged Krishna for so long in so many ways, out of his extraordinary kindness, he is moved to act whenever we turn to him. He responds to a simple and sincere statement like, "I'm yours," by preparing a royal road back to Godhead. Krishna is kind by nature. In his heart, he has no place for the mistakes of his devotees. Can anyone find a more worthy person to surrender to? Take shelter like a child. See Krishna as your maintainer, upon whom you are absolutely dependent. If he hadn't given it, you would not have the ground to walk on.
Krishna has created your life. He has created your little world in which you are. He has also created your little troubles and your little enjoyments and your little hopes and your little plans. He has created all of this. And he is now next to you, seeing how you're doing with all of this. This exercise to think that Krishna is right next to me and observes me, this single sadhana or spiritual practice, you could say, is extremely powerful. I think like this when I chant my rounds, that Krishna is next to me and hears. I think like this when I have exchanges with people. The Krishna is next to me and sees, am I doing it good? Am I giving my best to make it an uplifting experience for the people who are with me? I think like this when I read, I think like this when I do my service. Krishna is right next to me and he watches me with a sidelong glance, like Goparaj, who lives with us since quite some time, does. Please, you all learn about Krishna. Read his own words like the Bhagavad Gita, or read about him like a work like the Srimad Bhagavatam, where you will see his or learn about his extraordinary activities, and you will not be able to resist falling in love with Krishna. Krishna is impressed by one thing only, and really only one thing. And this, what impresses Krishna with Krishna, is if a devotee takes exclusive shelter with him. Now, exclusive shelter means the devotee has given up other shelters. And he takes exclusively the shelter of Krishna. The devotee who takes exclusive shelter doesn't need to be a creator of the universe. He doesn't need to be intelligent. He doesn't need to be sense-controlled. He doesn't need to know different yoga techniques. He doesn't need to come from a good family. He doesn't need to be learned or beautiful or rich or anything. Just this one qualification of taking shelter in Krishna is enough to just control the Lord. My dear devotees, this question, where are you, Krishna, in my life, is the entry into the process of bhakti. And this question, if you consistently ask it and don't stop asking it, will one day usher you into the palace of Atmanivedanam, a surrendered soul who's absolutely free from the bondage of your karma, the bondage of your mind, restless New York mind, ooh, talking, New York mind, talking, and so on. You're free from all unnecessary mental conceptions. Everything is clear in that palace of Atma Nivedanam. And it starts with this simple question, your journey: where is Krishna? Sometimes asking the right question and being brave enough to listen to whatever answer arises from within brings much better fruits than hearing endless lectures on philosophy. So today I asked you, find a field, maybe not like this, maybe a seat in your apartment will be good, but find a peaceful time, a still time, and ask the question, who am I when everything falls away that is not me? I think this question and the peaceful environment where you give yourself the luxury to be not driven by the many urgent things in your life will yield amazing answers. I wish you all the best. Find your field.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. In Vyasa Puja offering, I wrote to you. Once we were walking together at a Croatian seaside near Pula, and while returning to the temple, it became dark, and you asked your assistant to give you a torchlight, so that you could lead us on the way back. We walked behind you, and at one point you suddenly stopped, and with a torchlight you pointed to the big hole on the cliffs just before us, where we could fall down. You went a little bit left, and we followed. Then you said, "By the torchlight of knowledge we were saved." Dear Guru Maharaj, please let me serve you by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, and not get lost, because you always hold the torchlight of realized knowledge in your hands. I just need to follow behind your steps. Taking shelter at your lotus feet is the only remedy I see before my eyes. Shelter, which was and is ever known to me as the only place where I could find real peace and reassurance that everything will be the way it should be by Krishna's grace. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Haridas Thakur says the relationship with Krishna is established at the moment when you hear from a saintly devotee or a saintly person about Krishna and your own relationship with him, that you are his servant, that you are part of him. And as you hear from someone who has a relationship about Krishna, something happens in your heart. Something begins to resonate in your heart. Something begins to become awakened. Bhaktivinoda Thakur elsewhere gives the example, when I play on a sitar, on the melody strings, all these resonance strings who are tuned properly will start to also resound. So when you meet a true saintly person, a true devotee of the Lord, when you sit in his or her kirtan, at that time something begins to resound, or a resonance begins to happen in your heart, and you start to remember what you have forgotten.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. On this auspicious day of your appearance on your Vyasa Puja, I like to offer my most profound gratitude for the great service that you are doing, and especially for the very personal guidance, personal care that you are giving to many of your disciples. I feel extremely fortunate to be able to receive such a tailored guidance from you, and I can see that whatever good is in my life, my spiritual life, is coming from your training and guidance. I like to reciprocate with a small quote. This is from 11 Canto, chapter 3, verse 22. And there in the purport there is the quote of Jiva Goswami saying that the spiritual master is the Atma of the disciple. He is the life and soul of the disciple. And there he explained that the spiritual master is giving the second birth, and birth is life. So by giving this second birth, the spiritual master is waking the disciple to real life. So I felt very inspired to think of you as being my Atma, my life and soul. I sincerely wish that I can go deeper into this understanding, this meditation. I always pray to remain under your shelter, under your guidance, and under your blessings. with my full heart. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
But the real teachers, they speak from the level of realization, of something that they have intuited to be true. And that is powerful, like a volcanic burst. When you meet such a real teacher who does not repeat what he has read, who does not speak what he is thinking, his ideas and his thoughts about it, but who has deeply realized something. Oh, it gets to you and shapes you. It really polishes your heart. Therefore, to meet such teachers, such superior sadhus, guides, acharyas, is of such importance. You know, bhakti cannot be understood by words. Bhakti cannot be understood by thoughts. Bhakti is something very deep, it's spiritual, it has to come from a deeper level of the heart.
My dear devotees, our heart is not alive. The life is not there. The heart is a desert in the material existence, full of selfishness and unfortunate sanskaras, which use a psychological force on our life, which is just indescribably strong. Now we need to unlock the heart, enliven the heart with affection. And this chanting with affection can be had at the safe marketplace of the devotees' words.
The way Giriraj gives his mercy and makes us Paramananda, gives us Paramananda, is sometimes very mysterious. It is very much equal to the way Krishna gives his mercy. Krishna doesn't give his mercy with only sunshine, cherries, strawberries and cream, whipped cream. It's sometimes a very special type of mercy which Krishna gives. Krishna's mercy is sometimes seen by taking away some illusions out of the heart to which we may cling. Yasyam anugrinami harishya tattanam shanai. Krishna's mercy sometimes is seen when he comes with his lotus feet into our heart and destroys the misconceived notions, the conceptions, which we are still holding fast to. Desires for sense gratification, maybe. Krishna's mercy is both sweet and bitter. Most probably you will experience both of these types of mercies. Be prepared. Both of these, bitter and sweet mercy, is equally beneficial. I was yesterday sitting at a holy place and devotees from New York came and I asked them, how is your parikrama? And they said, terrible and sweet. I said, can you explain? And the devotee couple, very good devotee, said, Maharaj, we have never been so close to Krishna and realized that we are so far away from him. We have never been so close to Krishna. Here are the places where he still performs his pastimes. Yet we feel light years away. We feel so far away. And it gives us pain. I said, good. Let that pain stay. Let it not go so fast. Let it burn a little bit deeper into your existence. Because it is only through this realization, through this sorrow of your own, where you confront your fallen existence, that you will be able to turn to Krishna. and look for help and give up your own tools. Let them die, let them go to the side, and pray, pay the price of loliam, of intense desire. And then I said, I have good news for you. You cannot see the holy place with your eyes. No? You cannot feel anything here with your emotions. No, these are good news. You cannot chant even. No! But if you turn to the one who can give you eyes, if you can turn to the one who can give you a heart to feel, if you can turn to the one who can give you the tongue to chant, then you have hope.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This was a part of a wonderful talk that you gave a few years ago at the disappearance day of your dear spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, at the side of the Govardhan Hill. And this is how I perceive my life. So close, yet so far. Every day I dedicate my time to be with Krishna, but how often do I really touch him? I know he's there. I know she's there. I have felt it. But so often I'm not there. I'm scheduling my day, being at school with my kids, having meetings at my job or at the temple, serving the Lord in so many ways, being always busy and not giving the attention to the one I'm doing everything for, or I think I'm doing everything for. But you, Guru Maharaj, showed me that it is possible. It is possible to find him in his name, feel his loving and warm presence, and see that his pictures are not pictures only. To see beyond into eternity. To hear in my heart that Krishna Chandra is smiling there patiently on the altar, expecting me to come and sing my heart out to him. That Vrindavan is waiting for me, the world full of colors and love, and that the only safe way to come there is by the mercy, blessings and guidance of his dearmost servant, you, my dear Guru Maharaj. If I was just a better recipient of that mercy that you are giving out so compassionately and with so much love. Thank you for waiting for me, for correcting me, and for never giving up on me. Thank you for giving me your shelter on this journey, the journey of giving my heart to the divine couple, your daughter, Manditangi Devidasi.
If during your lifetime you can develop attachment to Krishna by hearing his holy name more and more, so that the consciousness is made free more and more from all the dust on it, all the coverings, then you can have good relationship with the devotees, friendly relationships that where you acknowledge these devotees, they want Krishna, they want to serve Krishna, they are great souls. And then you can finally have a compassionate attitude to all living beings. That is success of life. Today we talked with a friend from Vrindavan, and we asked them, how do you deal in a sacred area, an area of pilgrimage like Vrindavan, with compassion? And he said, well, we know of half compassion and full compassion. Half compassion means you can recognize the person's suffering and you feel touched a little by his pain. But full compassion would be you recognize and feel their pain, and then you would like to try to help. And he said something which I thought was very, very good. Our mind is not compassionate, but our heart is.
Then all the gopis met with Krishna, but Krishna disappeared from them. He ran away from them, including Radharani. Now nothing, they had nothing. They were bereft of Krishna, their all and everything, on whom they have placed everything in their lives. So after some time, Krishna appeared again, and he saw Srimati Radharani, who was lying on the floor, not able to breathe, like a lightning flash which had fallen from the clouds and was lying lifeless on the floor of Vrindavan. And Krishna revived Srimati Radharani, and as Radha looked at him with so loving tear-filled eyes, Krishna felt, I want to give a blessing to you. Radha asked for a blessing. Anything asked. So Radharani asked for a specific blessing, but not for herself, but for all the devotees and the devotees yet to come. She said, my dear Lord, please make that all the devotees who come to Vrindavan to search for you will never be disappointed. My dear Lord, bless them so that they will never be disappointed and find you. My dear devotees, this is the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Therefore Raghunathas Goswami says, I speak of Radha, who is full of karuna, that is mercy, a special type of mercy. Karuna is mercy which extends down to the needed persons. Srimati Radharani has blessed also all of you, that if you sincerely search for Krishna in the holy land of Vrindavan, your search will not be disappointed.
I will just tell one pastime at the end, that there is a verse in Vilap Kusamanjali where Raghunathas Goswami prays to Srimati Radharani that Srimati Radharani will always keep him as or keep her as her maidservant, and he wants to be the stamped maidservant, and this stamp comes from a particular lila which I have once heard here at Radhakund, which is just so beautiful that I want to tell it to you. Once, Srimati Radharani asked Krishna to decorate her. She was lying for that purpose on a soft couch, and Krishna was painting her lotus feet red, like sometimes women in Braj do. They have red lotus feet, and so Krishna was painting the lotus feet, but Radharani pretended that it was not right, that it was never right, and he said, you don't know these things. And she pointed to her Manjari, her servant, and said, show him, please, he's so impractical. And the little Manjari had all the colors and all the brushes, and said, like this. And he painted, now you do. And Krishna did. And Krishna was just sweating with anxiety, and also he felt, if I could just be at these beautiful lotus feet. Now, then he remembered something. He remembered that my name, Syam, is identical with me. So I can be, come, film. Come, honey, come, film. Oh. Hare Krishna. Film.
राधा रानी की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद जी की, सचिनंदन महाराज की।
Radhe. I just explaining something. So then Krishna, thinking that my name is identical to myself, took that brush and painted his name Syam on the lotus feet of Radharani. And when Radharani found out something is going on my foot, some irregular painting, some unnormal painting, some unusual painting. At that time, Srimati Radharani was very, very happy and with ecstasy, but out externally she pretended, this is not good. Manjari, what have you done? And she took her feet and kicked it on the Manjari, and the Manjari felt, I have gotten the greatest mercy. I am now a stamped maidservant of Srimati Radharani, who has helped Srimati Radharani in her very, very wonderful pastimes with Syama Sundar.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Radhe. Happy birthday to you from very cold Russia. We are sending to you very warm greetings from our hearts. Dear Guru Maharaj, thank you very much that you appeared in this world and taking care about all conditioned souls. Thank you for your instructions, which are keeping us on the level of Krishna consciousness, regardless of different conditions and times. One time in the branch roaming, you told us that we should look around and very carefully keep the samskaras of the holy Dham. They will, in the future, will be very helpful to remember Krishna and never forget about him. Thank you very much for your very deep, compassionate and pure heart, that even in that Dham you remember about us and give us such precious instructions. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Happy birthday.
Krishna spoke with a smile to his friend. Please listen, he said. The trees are glorified not only for their limbs, branches and all, but also for their qualities. Their quality is they protect all living beings by giving them shade that extinguishes the heat in their bodies. These trees, Krishna said to his friends, are the real devotees, because they are well-wishers of others. So, when you approach sadhu sangha, you should always want well. You should always want that in this association which we have, the other should be enriched. You will see, once you address a relationship, not what can I, from the perspective, what can I get from him or her or them, but what can I give to them? How can I help them? That's where we very good. know, when you meet good devotees, it's the first sign that Krishna has given you mercy. If you would like to know, have I gotten the mercy of Krishna? Then see, have you met devotees who are kind to you, who give you their favors? Because the devotees carry Krishna in their hearts. And when they come into your life, oh, you know, now I've gotten the attention of my Lord.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna devotees. In one of your letters to me, you wrote how to make advancement that cannot be shaken by anything. Srila Prabhupada used to say that the only way the conditioned soul can wake up is by hearing. So you will see that you become more and more Krishna conscious by hearing and chanting. At that time, your heart will be purified and you will be freed from all doubts. Then the real association with Krishna through his holy name and listening to his pastimes will start. Only a pure heart can chant and hear, and only a pure heart can surrender. But here comes the beauty of Krishna consciousness. By hearing and chanting, soul can awaken from millions of years of forgetfulness, and then the real life starts. Wishing you all the best and lot of spiritual strength, and please know that these are not words only, it really works. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Wish you a wonderful Vyasa Puja day.
This happens especially if you sing with many. When you do kirtan, when you sing, you forget for a moment of this I and mine, and the walls fall down, and then you understand the vastness of Krishna consciousness. As you sing, it becomes all of a sudden, everything opens up. When you sit down to do kirtan, stop your own little world, exit your own little world, sing and address Krishna, and as you do this, extraordinary devotional feelings are awakened. Sit down to chant, understand, I'm now entering the presence of the beloved Lord. And that faith, that enthusiastic resolve, that inner orientation will bring you very, very far in your chanting. It will lead you to put for a moment everything else aside and just chant and be in the presence of the Lord. So these two wings, you could say, make the kirtan fly. Remember in the beginning, I told you one saying, I've written it down here, if you can't teach me how to fly, then teach me how to sing. Radhe, 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 Radhe. This understanding that Krishna and his name are identical is possible when we enter a relationship with Krishna. It's such a easy point. When you have a relationship with Krishna, then when you chant the holy name, you will immediately chant with feelings. You will immediately chant with a sense of being really connected. Even in the world we have a shadow of this. When someone knows and has a relationship with his friend. His name alone will evoke a very deep sense of connectedness.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Guru Paramananda Premananda Phalaprada Vrajananda Pradananda Sevayamma Niyojaya. I'm here in this very beautiful place and missing your association, missing your guidance, missing service to you, waking up and having you there present to be able to serve. I'm so grateful for the time so far in this life that I've been able to serve you, and it is really my wish that I will continue to have such opportunities. I don't have much to say right now, but thank you from my heart. Hare Krishna, Dandava Pranam.
Everyone is unique, and so is everyone's expression of bhakti or devotion. And there are innumerable deities, manifestations of the divine, who accept and respond to the individuals. I remember one incident in particular where I personally called upon a deity and received a divine protection. When I looked, a black cobra came at me and it was hissing. I never forget the hissing of that cobra who was intent of killing. The second, what I heard was the loud noise of parrots, and I saw 2 parrots, or maybe 3. Everything happened so fast that it's difficult to just remember all the details, but parrots came flying down like fighter airplanes onto the attacking cobra and went right to the eyes, so the cobra was irritated enough for me to jump up. I remember at that moment I was still under shock, but I was jubilant. I felt, yes, I had been heard. Yes, the deity whom I had tried to invoke and please, Krishna, had protected me by sending 2 harmless-looking airplanes, I almost said, parrots, who saved me.
Hare Krishna.
Let us welcome both types of mercy. Let us not say, I only want this one, the sweet one, where everything is given to me. Let us also welcome the mercy where it is clear that we will have to work a little bit, that we might have to give up some things, correct our path. Because if we do this, we can grow, and our bhakti lata, our bhakti inside of the heart, can become a powerful plant which will produce the sweetest fruit, the prema bhakti, or the love of the Lord, which is unalloyed.
napetošću sam očekivao dan kada će se to i dogoditi, kako to i obično biva. Stvari se ne događaju tokom kakvim bismo mi želeli, već nekim nepisanim pravilom prilično drugačije. Jednog dana pre mnogo godina bakte su mi rekle da dolazi Sačinandana Svami i da će mi se sigurno baš taj guru dopasti. U svojim mislima sam te zamišljao kao onog spasioca pored bazena. Bilo je puno bakta na tom dočeku i ti si prošao pored mene, a da nisam to ni primetio, jer sam očekivao, pod navodnicima, bildera koji će me izvući iz okeana. Pitao sam se kako je moguće da takvu osobu nisam video, ono što rade ostali. I dalje sam očekivao spasioca i svoje mašte, ali on nikako da dođe. Ti si seo i zapevao neku pesmu na meni prilično nepoznatom jeziku, a ja sam mislio da je to uvod u dolazak glavnog šefa. Pitao sam nekog pored sebe kako se zove čovjek koji peva i kada će doći guru, a on mi je rekao, pa to je Sačinandana Svami. Bio sam u šoku, umjesto mišićavog namrgođenog tipa sa tamnim naočarima, ugledao sam osobu koja sedi na jasasanu, bez natpisa spasilac, sa velikim osmehom na licu i nekom meni tada čudnom srećom u očima. Pitao sam se kako ćeš me ti izvući iz okeana kad nisi ni nalik onom liku iz moje mašte. Što je tvoja lekcija više odmicala, spasilac iz moje glave je bledeo, u srcu se rađao novi junak mog životnog zapleta. Sve je ličilo na nestvarnu dramu koja je u filmskoj industriji poznata kao spas u poslednji čas. Sve se dogodi brzo i neočekivano, iako pre toga svi misle da je razrešenje zapleta logično i očekivano. U stvari, moj pravi životni roman je počeo da se piše od prvog susreta sa tobom. Sve do tada što je napisano je bio plod moje mašte i želja, a onda, kao i mnogi pisci, kad naiđeš na novu, prelepu temu, pročitaš prethodno poglavlja i onda to zgužvaš i baciš u koš. Ponekad i sada napišem poneku stranicu rukopisom kao iz ranijih poglavlja, ali na sreću, osim što imaš ulogu spasioca, često si u mom životu i neka vrsta urednika koji mi ukaže na prepoznatljiv rukopis pređašnjeg perioda života. Onda te stranice, nakon tvoje, pod navodnicima, revizije, bacim u koš. Poznavši ono što nam je ostavio Šrila Prabhupada i slušajući tvoje lekcije, shvatio sam pravo značenje izreke da se čovjek ne udavi što padne u vodu, već što ostane ispod nje. Dragi Guru Maharaj, veoma sam ti zahvalan što mi inspirišeš da ponekad nešto učinim za zadovoljstvo Bhakti, što mi daješ snage da učestvujem u najlepšem procesu, a to je širenje svetog imena Šri Krišne. I na kraju, hvala ti što me držiš iznad površine vode. Zauvek tvoj sluga Bhakti.
Let me greet you from the land of the snow. What is the image which snow invokes in us? Of course, winter, but also temporality. Here in this snow landscape, we can remember how everything goes. See, it is all now full of snow. Nature is kept with snow, but this will all in a few weeks disappear and something new will come. Let us come to grips, come to terms with the realization that everything here is temporary. Let us accept it. Let us see how we can make best use of it while it is there, but let us not lament and protest when it goes. Finally, also this body will be embraced by death and go away. Thank you very much for listening. Hari Bol.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. A nice devotee and a good person, Madhavamuni Prabhu, asked me to record something for the occasion of your Vyasa Puja. I didn't know what to do because life has changed, things have changed a lot, my empirical self has changed. But then I was thinking that despite all this, you and Krishna have never abandoned me, and despite the physical distance, you kept me alive by coming to my dreams. It occurs relatively often. I usually see you lecturing, and I also sometimes go on book distribution in my dreams. I go on Sankirtan, and it is as hard as used to be in my waking state. But on this occasion, I wanted to relate another dream that I had quite some years ago when I was actually going out of Sankirtan in Germany. So I found myself sitting on the driver's seat in a white German Sankirtan van, and I felt some presence behind. When I turned around, it was Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada sitting there, and he was very happy with what we were doing. And he told me that. And then he asked me who my guru was. And I said, it was Satchidananda Swami. I asked him, he's good, right? And Prabhupada said, no, he's the best. So that was that was a very, very vivid experience, and I know that for Prabhupada, probably all his worthy disciples are the best, but to me, following the insight given by Srila Prabhupada, you remain the best disciple of his.
I was born a rambler, lost in time and space, but I must have been a lucky one because I've got your grace. You all know what I'm saying. We shared one destiny, scattered around the universe till he came to set us free. Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. This is to you, my dearest friend. I know that love will never end. You came to take me back to God's curse once again. This one's for you, my dear Lord. You are the master of my soul. Just let me serve you, and I will follow till whatever ends.
I think Krishna loves every chapter. He loves, but he's impressed.